Hey there, fam. Welcome back to the channel. I was coming to do another video, man, to do the next installment in our series on the parables. And, I come to Matthew chapter 18 because that's where I'm going, to continue with the parables lesson. And, this popped up in my face, man, and I couldn't resist reading it again. And then when I read it again, my spirit was like, not my spirit. I felt it in my spirit, and I can feel the spirit telling me, do a lesson. You got to do a lesson on this because I'm often speaking about this topic and I mentioned it recently, but many don't understand, the problem with with rank and how we try to view rank in the kingdom. And, there's this sentiment out there that, among certain people and certain groups that their group is above and higher ranking than all other groups, and that you have to be a part of their group in order to be high ranking to Yahawah and Yahawashi, that you got to come through them in order to make it into the kingdom, and that, they have preeminence over all other Israelites. All right. They're constantly boasting of themselves, of their elders, of what they believe to be their position and their rewards and, their status. And so this, the way they feel and the way they boast and the way they act and the way they talk is completely contrary to the teachings, though. And I'm not sure that if they realize it, if they're just, you know, being carried by the spirit of their elders, man. And so they're not taking the time to take account of the fact that their elders might have put a spirit on them that's in error. And so they're all just passing it along one to another, a spirit of error. Rank in the kingdom. What is our king? What does Yahawashi have to say about rank in the kingdom, about people boasting of themselves and their positions and believing they're higher and high and mighty and that they're better than others, and and that they're gonna get special treatment, or they are more special, or just better. And so they have a better reward coming, they believe, right? But what does scripture say? Matthew 18, verse 1. At the same time came the disciples unto Yahawashi, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? So his disciples came unto him because they wanted to know who's the greatest, because they're all battling among themselves, right? They got egos on the line and everything else, and they want to know. They're looking at each other and sizing each other up. They want to know the rank and file. And it's the same now. All the groups and everybody's looking at each other and they're sizing each other up, and they're wondering, who outranks who, which camp is gonna outrank the others, and who's at the top of the hill as far as the camps go, and who should we be respecting the most, and who should we respect the least. Or if you're not from a camp, then you're really looked down on. And if you come into this thing, more recently, than others, then you're a Johnny come lately and you're not to be respected. This is the way they act. This is the way they talk. This is how they feel. All right. But what does Yahawashi say? And Yahawashi called a little child unto him, somebody that wasn't even a disciple, and set him in the midst of them and said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Ye shall not enter. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name. Now, this can be, indicative of someone who is not even a teacher. They're just somebody who has come to the truth. They believe in Yahawashi. And so just in their belief and their zeal and believing in him, they might just All they do is tell people, yeah, you got to believe in Yahawah and Yahawashi. And, you know what I mean? They don't really, got a whole lot of deep breakdowns and everything else or deep understanding. They're just believers, man, and people that love him and wait upon him. And they promote his name and lift him up in the sight of others, right? They would be probably synonymous with the little child in this scenario. Not even teachers or people who feign themselves to be apostles. They're disciples. A disciple doesn't mean a teacher. It means somebody who's a follower and a believer in Yahawashi, right? And so, this is a contrast between those who, are called to be teachers and those who are not. They're just people in the truth. They're just people who love him, follow him, and believe in him. You can't think yourself to be better than the people you're teaching. You can't think yourself to be better than them because you are a teacher, because you have been in the truth longer, because you walk with him. They walked with him. And he told them, you're not better than this child just because you walk with me, right? Just because I made you my apostles, just because I made you my disciples, you are not better than this child. See what I'm saying? But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, even a disciple, even if an apostle offends one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. That's how Yahawashi feels about rank. That's his stance on rank. So while you're boasting and propping yourselves up, lifting yourselves up, patting yourselves on the back, right? Popping your collars, popping your talk, Yahawashi is condemning you. He's smacking you down in your bravado, in your boasting, right? In your exaltation of yourselves, your camps, and your elders. That's what he's doing. Right? You refuse to listen to anybody that ain't one of your elders. If your elders didn't say it, then it's not to be believed. And if somebody teaches something that's contrary to what your elders taught, you think they're going off. It's not possible to you that your elders could be wrong about something. It's not possible to you that you could be wrong because you believe you got the uncut, 100% unfiltered truth. You're not wrong about anything. And you're wrong about that because we know in part, we prophesy in part, right? And so let's go to Matthew chapter 5. Look what it says. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. All right. The poor in spirit would be those who don't have the great measure of faith. They don't have the great knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and discernment and so forth. I believe that I'm not poor in spirit, right? Because I feel like I've been given great gifts of understanding and knowledge and wisdom. But I know that those who have not been given as much as me, that doesn't mean that I'm better than them or that they don't get to enter into the kingdom of heaven. In fact, just the opposite. I believe that because I've been given so much, it makes me a servant to them who has less. I'm not better. I'm a servant. I'm meant to minister unto them. I got to bow down my neck, bow down my shoulders so that they can get upon my shoulders and I stand up and they be lifted up from their low estate. I'm a helper, a minister of Yahawashi to his people to help lift them up, to help pour into those who are poor in spirit. This is how they're blessed because he pours into them. They're not going to be poor in spirit forever because he lifts up someone like me who comes along and starts to teach you, and then you become rich in spirit. That's the blessing through the teachers. Doesn't make us better. It makes us useful to the king. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are the meek, man, not the exalted, the humble. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. See, the poor in spirit, they thirst after righteousness, and then they'll be filled, and then they'll no longer be poor in spirit. They're blessed to receive this food that we're preparing for them, that has been prepared, that we're serving them, I should say. We didn't prepare it. We are just serving it. Yahawashi prepared the feast, pouring the water, pouring the wine. Right? Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Remember, we all need mercy. We were all heathens. We were all transgressors. We were all deep and laden with sins. Right? We were all walking around in this world, man, living in a way in which we're not supposed to. But because of his mercy, right, we have been transformed. We are being transformed. We got to remember where we came from. Remember that we were sometimes, wayward. So why, when you come out of your waywardness, why do you turn around and start to hate and condemn those who are still lost, instead of doing what Yahawashi did and seek out those which are lost? Why don't you help him accomplish his mission in gathering his flock? Why are you standing and judging his flock? Who are you to judge another man's sheep? Where's your mercy? You you who do not show mercy will receive no mercy. Why are you calling for the death of other Israelites? Oh, you're two-thirds, and I can't wait for you ninjas to be killed. I can't wait for Jacob's trouble to start, for you ninjas to be killed. All you ninjas need to go. Wait a minute. But just because they're messed up and living and walking wrong now doesn't mean that they always will be. We in tares, fam. You don't know who all the two-thirds are. You think that you can identify them, but you can't. That's why in the parable, when his workers asked him if he wanted them to go out and root up the tares, he said, no, no, lest ye root up the wheat also, because you can't discern the difference. You don't know what's what, who's who. Right now, they all look the same to you. All right. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see the Most High. You are not the pure in heart if you are wishing for the death of Israelites. You are excluded. You can't number yourself among the pure in heart if you're talking about how you can't wait for our people to be killed. That's crazy. I pray for them, because I know that everyone that is going to be saved, they're not all awakened yet. Some are still heavy laden. Some are still out there, still gang banging. There are those who are going to be saved, man. Some of the elect are still out in the street right now. There's a member of the elect right now with some rocks in his pocket on the corner right now. Right now, as we speak, a member of the elect is right now, out there doing abominable things. And you think that because he's out there doing those abominable things that you can speak and wish death upon him, because you don't know the Most High. You don't know his time clock. You don't know how things work. You don't know the operations of the highest. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of the Most High. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. You got to be ready to endure persecution from your brethren first, from your fellow Israelites first. When I teach the things that I teach, a lot of them hate what I teach, because I teach things that, are counter to what they teach. It's the same thing as when Yahawashi came and him and his disciples. They were teaching things that were different than what the Pharisees and the scribes and the Sadducees were teaching. So they were hated. They were hated by Israel. There's no difference. So you got to be ready to to deal with persecution for righteousness' sake, for the sake of the truth. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. But there are many who are in these camps, they're in these groups, and they are respecters of persons, and they're scared to depart. They're scared to lose the brotherhood, right? They believe that the elders of this particular camp have some sort of preeminence. They are exalted. They have some sort of higher rank with the Father and with Yahawashi, and so they're scared to leave because they're scared that they're going to lose their salvation. They're scared they might lose their ranking. They're scared they might not be the greatest in the kingdom if they depart from this organization, from this group, from the congregation that they are clinging to. And that's far from the truth. And you err not understanding the scriptures. So you're walking waywardly, scared to walk alone, scared for Yahawashi to be your only friend, scared to look over and only see one set of footsteps beside you, because you need the strength of the group. You need the safety in numbers, right? Again, none of that is biblical, man. That's not righteousness. All right. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. So I wanted to bring this out, man, just to help people to understand, rank and conduct becoming of the elect, because many who pride themselves and call them and believe themselves to be of the elect, or are hoping to be of the elect, they're living in a way that's putting them at odds with our power, man, that's going to get them disqualified. It's going to get them thrown away. They're going to hear the worst phrase that anybody can ever hear, right? They're going to hear those words and say, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. That's what they're going to hear. So their great hope that they have is in vain because they're not living right. Their conduct is unbecoming of our power. They are representing our power wrong. Don't do the same thing. Don't follow in their footsteps to the lake of fire. That's my hope for you. That's my prayer for you. Even for them, I pray for them to awaken, to snap out of it, to get it together. I don't wish anything bad on my brethren. Just because I'm rebuking, that spirit, because I'm rebuking bad behavior, doesn't mean I hate my brothers. I love my brothers. I love my people. Right? And I want us all to be saved, as many of us as can be. I know it's predestination. I want as many of us to be saved as is possible, man. I don't wish for any of us to perish that doesn't have to. So I pray for life, that we are all taught the ways of righteousness, and that we all learn to walk in the light of Yahawashi, man, in his shadow, so that we can all be redeemed in that day, in the day that is fast approaching. All praise, honor, and glory to our Heavenly Father, Yahawah, in the name of our Heavenly King, Yahawashi, the Holy One of Israel, and in the name and the power of the Holy Spirit. Thank you for joining me today, everybody. I pray that we all will join up and meet up in the wilderness. Yahawah willing, we'll be there. That's when we'll get to experience brotherhood. Right now isn't the time when you need to be trying to cling to any brotherhood. You need to be trying to cling to Yahawashi. Learn the right teachings, learn the right way of walking. And if you learn something that might put you at odds with your camp, with your group, and it's the truth, you got to walk in that way of truth. You can't put, the teachings of the group and not want to be ostracized from the group. You can't put that above the truth. I'll see you guys on the next one, Yahawah willing, fam. Each one, reach one. Shalom.